of the major Fortune 500 Fortune 500 companies here in Riviera Beach. So the resources that we have, we just have to make sure that the stewards that are managing our resources are managing it well enough so that it can return a value to us that will increase and improve the welfare of our community, increase our quality of life, increase the living for the living of our residents. I think that's what's important because we have to have businesses and people in our community that are paying taxes, that everybody that should be paying taxes, the business-wise, that they are actually not just here for free because our water bills will not be able to sustain the city of Riviera Beach, and having all the resources we have, the quality of our life has to change, and that's going to depend on who and how they're managing our resources and our money.
All right, thank you. Have you guys visited all of our vendors tonight? How many of you guys went around and supported our vendors and spent dollars right here in this room? We talk about making sure our dollars circulate, but we need to make sure that we're circulating them with our folks right here in the room. I do want to take a couple moments to acknowledge all of our tables who are here, the Diplomat Center, of course, but Comerica is one of our sponsors as well, and Pierre is here. You want to say a couple quick words, Pierre?
What a wonderful event. We're so proud to be in not only the Riviera Beach community, but been active for so many years now. Believe it or not, next week will be 15 years that I've been a manager here with Comerica right in Riviera Beach. And this event has been absolutely unbelievable, right? I know that we've been waiting for it. Linda got me involved pretty early, and then we said, yep, we definitely want to have the opportunity to sponsor it. And I think the learning that we received here today, and over at the Diplomat Center, you were there a couple of months ago, like 2 months ago, and we talked about it. I think one of the takeaways here, folks, is that the time is now. I can tell you that I've lived here my entire life in Palm Beach County, born and raised, right? I was hatched over at St. Mary's, and I can tell you that I've seen it in Delray, right? And Delray turned on a dime, right? Late 80s, early 90s. And look at now Swinton Avenue, Delray Square, or Pineapple Grove area, right? All that area turned around tremendously. And I take a look at the opportunity now is that we have an opportunity to get it right, right? There's a lot of economic activity that's happening. The city's involved. I see a lot of great business owners and potential entrepreneurs that we've worked with through the business boot camp and things like that we just had the graduation here less than 3 weeks ago. So the reality of it is we'd love to be a part of it. We want to be partners with you, and I'm excited for the future of Riviera Beach. And I know that Anita Jenkins has also been a wonderful advocate for this community over the last 15 years that I've been here, and over the last month or so, if you haven't been watching, a lot of wins, big wins for this community. And the opportunity to own a home, those lessons he was talking about, own a home, get started on an investment account, whether it be through Robinhood or there's many other ways that you can get involved. And you just got to get started, right? You've got to start. And we want to be a partner and help you with that. So with that, we're just proud to be part of this program. I expect the rest of the afternoon to be great, and we'll hopefully see you tomorrow at the Diplomat Center.
Absolutely. Thank you again, Comerica Bank. Yes, ma'am. You got it. We're going to go to our vendors, and I'll come back to a few more takeaways. Who we got here? We got Verizon Small Business.
Yes, good afternoon. I've had such a wonderful time, and I'm Pastor Nelson, coming from Belgrade, Pahokee, the western area. This is like a dream come true. We're in sync with Riviera Beach from our culture, and I am just so excited after 40 years of being in ministry and business to see this day come to pass. God is able. He's a dreamer come true.
All right, thank you. Trendy Gourmet is who provided our food today. Let's give it up for the food today, right? Did y'all enjoy that? I'm going to kick it over to Kitty on the other side.
Yeah, I got you, so you don't have to do all the work over there. Give you a little break.
I appreciate you, sis.
Little break. All right, we have some other vendors over here that we would like to introduce.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Andrea Vaughn Givens, and I am the CEO of Global Impact Wellness Group. We are a mental health agency where we first started in Baltimore, Maryland, and we are expanding to Riviera Beach, Florida. I am super excited. Mental health is a world where I live in. I love it. I always say that therapy is not a dirty word. In Baltimore, we have roughly about 100 youth that are in our drug prevention program, and they come religiously every Monday and Thursday virtually, and they participate. They can be on the bus, they're all over, and they make sure that they log on, and they also complete assignments on Tuesday and Wednesday. We have an OMHC and a PRP, and which is a psychiatric rehabilitation program. Our mantra is care you can trust, because we really care. I always ask our clients, what do you need? How can we be of service? And I'm telling you, I just got an email from some of our youth saying, Dr. Givens, we need journals. We want to write about what we're going through. And so we really care. We do this on a daily basis. I've been in education since Burger King was a prince. And I just think it is so very important that we touch our youth, because they are our leaders of tomorrow. And so I thank you for having us here, and we are just getting the party started.
I'm going to go down to this next table of gentlemen. Somebody, are you? Oh, the spokesperson's here. Okay.
Yeah, I'm standing outside already, ready for you guys. Good evening. First of all, I'd like everyone to give a big, big round of applause for Black Wall Street and the Diplomat Center for having a great event here today. Well, hello everyone. My name is Mustafa Ghaffar. I'm the managing broker of Prime Real Estate and Investment. I've been a friend and family member, I would say, of Dr. Collymore for, 15 years maybe now. She's known me since I started the business. I've been in real estate all my life, helping families get into their dream home one door at a time. It's my passion, and I hope to continue to network with all of you, be in the community, and make a change in Riviera Beach and all over Palm Beach County one door at a time. Thank you guys again, and we hope to see you again tomorrow. Thank you.
All right. I'm over here with Juicylicious Juice. How many of y'all had one of these juices this morning? I had, oh, look at that. I had me that soursop in sea moss, yes, keeping it healthy.
Hi guys, I am the CEO and the owner of Juicylicious Juice LLC. I am Jamaican, so you know Jamaicans do all natural stuff. So you guys, I thank you guys who have purchased my juices today. I'm grateful for that. As you know, who knows my juices, my number one seller is ginger lemonade, then the soursop sea moss, then mango lemonade, and it goes on and on. So I have over 60 flavors of juice and counting. So thank you guys. Today was a very impactful day. I learned a lot. So thank you guys. Dr. Linda Gilmore, it was awesome. Trinette Morris, the grits was awesome. So thank you guys. Have a great weekend. From your girl, Juicylicious Juice. Also follow me on social media, Juicylicious Juice. On Facebook, Juicylicious Juice. On Instagram, my personal page, Grace Bodden. TikTok, Juicylicious Juice. Have a great one.
Thank you. And I know everybody already got that John Hope Bryant book, correct? Are you guys still selling? Okay, we're waiting on a few more copies if you did not get a chance to get yours today. And we are now, everybody tell me, God is good when? All the time. All the time God is good? All right. So we want to say a few words about your business?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Black Wall Street. My name is Natalie, and my business here is 1248 LLC. We are a business strategic solutions company. We do branding, marketing, and digital print services. This is one of our brands. God is great. We want to spread the word. Everything we do is God first and love as well. So welcome. I've learned a lot here. It's been an honor and a privilege. I want to thank the Diplomat Center, Dr. Collymore, everyone that attended, everyone that assisted, and I hope you all have a great day.
All right, we have another vendor who's ready to speak.
Hey everybody, it's awesome to be here, awesome to see Black Wall Street. My name is Jeremiah Schoen with the Schoen team at Primary Residential Mortgage, partnered with Prime Real Estate Investment. We've been in this community for over 2 decades. I'm actually born and raised here, attended Suncoast High School. I love this community so much. This community raised me. I played for the Riviera Beach Chargers growing up, and I've always been in this community, always loved on this community. This community has loved on me so much. Real estate is one of the biggest assets in your lifetime that you'll ever have. It's never too old to start, never too young to begin. I'm 24, bought my first house at 23, all glory to God, and we're just here to help you guys in obtaining your dreams and building this asset for your future generations and for your children. And we're here to help. We're here to serve this community, love on this community, and just God bless, and thank you for having us here.
Okay, I see our panelists are coming in. What I would ask of you, 30 seconds or less.
If you have not gotten your book from Mr. Hannibal Johnson, they still have some books left, but this is all they have today, so make sure you grab your copy before you leave. I think we got one more table. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. Ralph Lewis with White Glove Pharmacy Consulting. I am the president and CEO. White Glove is a consulting company that strategizes for independent pharmacies. We help market the business just to compete with the Fortune 500 pharmacies such as CVS and Walgreens. We also provide schooling for those who would like to get in the pharmacy industry. We are able to get you licensed and credentialing in the pharmacy industry as well. So if you know anyone that wants to dive in, by all means, stop at the table and get in contact with me. Thank you.
All right. Of course, you know we couldn't have this event without having some merchandise, okay? Make sure you get your Black Wall Street shirts, but tell us a little bit about your business.
Hello, my name is Sharon. These shirts here I have are sponsored by Black Wall Street, so I want you guys to come and support. These shirts are not necessarily just for sale, but I believe these shirts are, a message to go out after this event. As many of us that is here, is still more people that need to be reached, so we can help push this legacy forward. So just come on by, support the movement, and we're gonna see things change.
All right, and they're not here right now, but I definitely want to mention the lemonade stand that is here as well. You guys make sure you check out their business.
All right, we promise. This is it. 30 seconds or less. TikTok.
Andre Vaughn. We also have a healthy product for ladies. Gentlemen, just come by the table. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna decrease the divorce rate and increase your love life.
We did. I hope you know what that means.
Was that quick enough?
Yes. We know what that means. You need more mics?
No, I'm gonna turn them on. I'm gonna turn it on. Go ahead. No, you're perfect.
Well, good afternoon. How is everyone feeling? Y'all can do a little bit better than that. How is everybody feeling? All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We are waiting on another panelist, but we want to, snuck up here. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Legacy in Motion, Black Wall Street South. We are honored and gracious to have you all here, and thank you all for staying and bearing with us. This is an exciting time, and we are just honored again for you all to participate. Today's discussion brings together extraordinary leaders, leaders from government, business, finance, and community empowerment. Each are committed to strengthening the economic foundation of Black America, but more importantly, Black Wall Street South, Riviera Beach. So without further ado, I'm gonna pass it over to Dwayne Bryant, and he's going to introduce our amazing panel.
Thank you, Trini. Good afternoon, Riviera Beach. Clap one time, you can hear me. 2 times, you can see me. 3 times, you ready to learn? Perfect. Before I introduce this outstanding panel, I have to tell you something that happened during the break. I was looking for Dr. Colin Moore, and I walked right through that door, and a lady came up to me. Where's Dolores Jones? Is she in the room? Dolores Jones.
Miss Dolores,
She's
stand up.
gone. Okay. If she's here, stand up.
She's
Where is she?
Stand up, Miss
She
Dolores.
want to hide now. Okay, I see her. So she said, you walked right by me and didn't say hello. I said, I did? She said, yeah, you looked right at me. I said, I promise you it wasn't me. Are you sure it was me? She said, it was you. I said, Ms. Jones, I promise you, I'm so sorry. I'm so focused on what I'm doing. And it made me realize sometimes we can be so caught up into what we're doing and we forget to just say hello to the person right next to us. So before we continue, just look real quick and just say hello to the man or the woman or the boy or the girl sitting right beside you. All right, that's it. We ain't got time for all that. Yep, let's keep on going. Because we got to get credit scores up and all of this good stuff. Also, there was another lady, Trinice Griffin. She said if I called her name, she was going to throw a grape back here at me. She's sitting right back there at that table trying to hide. Very excited about the panel today. So it is my pleasure. There she is right there. Yep, I told her. Yep, there she is right back there. Please see her before y'all leave. All right. We have an amazing array of public and private leaders, people who are committed and dedicated not just to the Riviera Beach community, but Palm Beach County as well as the state. Our first panel member is our distinguished mayor. He already ready, got the microphone ready. Brother Douglas Lawson, mayor of the city of Riviera Beach. Let's give him a round of applause. Then we have Jonathan Evans, city manager, city of Riviera Beach. Someone asked me, is that Al B. Shore? No, it is not Al B. Shore. It is our city manager. Y'all remember Nino Brown? Let's keep going.
Hit my theme music.
Right.
I'm sending a photo to Al B. Shore now.
You see that too, huh? All right. Then we have distinguished executive director of Riviera Beach CRA, Jadel Merzius. Let's give him a round of applause, doing a wonderful job. We have our state senator, there he is with the clean head, Brother Mac Bernard. Attorney Jolinda Herring, managing partner of Bryant, Miller, and Olive Law Firm. The distinguished, I've seen this young lady all over the country, Ann McNeil, CEO of MCO Constructions and Services. If you can think about it, she can build it, and she's gonna look fly when she's doing it. Keely Gideon Taylor, president of the Black Chamber of Commerce, Palm Beach County. And she also said if you are a business and you're not a part of the Palm Beach County Chamber of Commerce, you are not a business. So we're gonna leave that right there. Get yourself together. You've already heard from this dynamic powerhouse right here, Brother John Hope Franklin, founder, chairman, CEO, Operation Hope, credit builder, community leader, all of that.
John Hope Bryant.
John Hope Bryant. What did I say? You good. I am Bryant. My last name, I was going to tell y'all. See, I'm glad you said it. That's my adopted cousin. He don't know it yet, but he just got a new family member. John Hope Bryant. He was a bad brother. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And then I have Brian written down here, makes no excuse. No excuse at all. We have Hannibal Johnson, attorney, educator, author, Black Wall Street, From Riot to Renaissance, and Tulsa Historic Greenwood District. Let's give our panel and distinguished members a round of applause. So what we're going to do, as you see, we have 9 distinguished panel members. That's a lot in only an hour to get this done. That means we're going to go, we're going to ask questions, we're going to get succinct answers, and if you all have a question that we may not have here, you can text me. My number is 777-9311, and if I get that text, some of y'all, okay, y'all just got that part. Okay, good. If I don't get your text, sorry about it. It was full. All right.
Some
First
people are
question.
asking what that is. Just don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't
that's
worry
the age
about it.
thing. Absolutely. 777-9311. You don't
Break
know
out
it.
in a song.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Absolutely. First question goes to our distinguished mayor, Douglas Lawson. What do you see as the most urgent opportunity for local government to strengthen and sustain Black-owned businesses within the city of Riviera Beach, with the caveat, with the new federal regulations trying to destroy anything DEI? How then do you answer that question? What is the most urgent opportunity for local governments to strengthen and sustain Black-owned businesses?
First and foremost, being present, being here and being engaged, because our urgency is based upon us having home rule local participation. I'm not worried about what they're doing up in Tallahassee, up in Washington. I'm worried about Riviera Beach's 8 square miles. And we have the ability right here in this room to transform these 8 square miles and then expand into Palm Beach County and then expand into the state and then throughout the country. But what we've done is we've brought key leaders together to elevate each other. So what we're going to do is, they've made DEI a bad word. They've made Black women participation a bad word, a bad narrative. Here in Riviera Beach, we're intentional about it. So if you don't want to say DEI, you don't want to say Black-owned, you don't want to say women, that's fine. We're going to call it small business. We're going to call it local participation. We're going to call it engagement. We're going to make sure a young lady from Riviera Beach, homegrown, is going to build our fire stations and make sure she participates in the ribbon cuttings because she's the one that got it done and established. We're going to make sure that our painters come from this community. So we have to be the ones to save ourselves. And the most urgent thing is listening to each other, engaging, getting our credit score, as we heard up today, making sure we're reinvesting back into Riviera Beach, and we're putting those dollars to work in our community, circulating those dollars more than the 6 hours that they spend in Riviera Beach. So the urgency is being engaged, being here and being present today like you are.
I love it. Thank you very much. That's a fantastic answer. Absolutely. I did a police training in a city that the police department was 100% white. The community was 20% Black. And one of the officers said, "Is this a DEI training?" I said, "Absolutely it is. DEI definitely earned it. I definitely earned the right to be here in this room. Now you sit down and you learn something, son, so that when this is over, you'll come and apologize." So remember, DEI definitely earned it. You don't have to apologize for being in the room. Second question is going to Brother Jonathan Evans, our city manager. What policies or partnerships are being implemented or should be implemented in order to enhance Black or minority businesses within the city of Riviera Beach?
Thank you for that question. I think one of the things that the city has done a great job on is making sure that we promote local participation. Ms. Ann McNeil and I met at a conference in Washington, D.C., and the question was, "Mr. Manager, congratulations on being the city manager of my hometown, but guess what? I can't even participate in a project in my hometown. Isn't that disappointing?" And not only have we been able to facilitate that project, we've actually constructed 2 fire stations and building a 3rd from that conversation.
And it's beautiful.
So I say that to say this, is being in the room, like the mayor said, and going to those council meetings, letting us know the good services and items that you actually produce. We are a $240 million municipal corporation. We have a capital budget of $500 million. It is anticipated that the city is going to put that investment into the community. So whether you sell pens or whether you build facilities, we are in the business of making opportunities for you. We just need a partner. And if you don't believe that our council is not intentional about making sure that people that are from this community and that look like us want to or participate in jobs, you're sadly mistaken of the Riviera Beach story, because the Riviera Beach story is one of inclusion and participation and creating opportunities. So this movement that we're talking about, Black Wall Street, it's been here and it's been festering here in Riviera Beach for some time now. Now it's time for us to hit our full stride. And I will tell you, what we were talking about earlier, we're also going to be partnering, that you'll hear coming out in the future, about looking to raise economic opportunities for individuals in our community. So not just from a business perspective, we're going to make Riviera Beach, Black Wall Street, street by street, Main Street to Ocean Avenue, to S Avenue, door by door, community by community, and making sure that when we come back and we have this summit, we're going to see economic opportunities raised, home ownership raised, quality of life raised, physical health and well-being raised, all because we're committed and we're focused on a better Riviera Beach.
All right, let's give that a perfect answer. Outstanding. I also heard something else that Ann McNeil advocated. She didn't come complaining. She didn't come, she was prepared, she was ready, she had her documentation, she had her proof, she had her evidence, she had everything in order. So when she came to you, it sounded like it was an easy conclusion.
She just asked the question.
Correct.
And as the new manager, what am I going to say? And so the first thing I came back and said, this can't be true. This can't be true that you can't build a project or an initiative in your own hometown, your community. So now we see Ann all the time,
right,
and which is a great thing. And so Ann is going to help create more Anns, and that's what we want to see happen.
All right, we love it. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you, Ms. McNeil. Brother Jadale, the Community Redevelopment Agency drives revitalization in the city of Riviera Beach. How can the CRA initiatives ensure that Black-owned businesses and residents are benefiting from some of the developments that are happening within the city of Riviera Beach?
Thank you for that question. The first portion of that question is how I came here. How I came here was the city was looking specifically to get projects done. Capital improvement projects, development projects. Throughout that time frame of me coming here, understanding the city, learning about the projects, understanding some of the setbacks, some of the things how we learned how to move forward, I think we're on a good path forward. The second part of that question, or the second part of that answer to the question is, what are we going to do now to prepare ourselves for the development that's about to happen? In varying other communities, from Miami and that Little Haiti district and the Overtown district, to specific areas in Atlanta and the specific areas all over the country, people are fighting development with what happens after development in Black communities, Black and brown communities. What are we going to do? And I think the next phase of the development and the next phase for the CRA is to ask that question on an everyday basis. How are we preparing our community residents that have been here at the table, that have been through the rough, the bad, the bad publicity, all those things, how are we preparing them to move forward? How do we go ahead and impact them and make sure that when those developments are there, they're at the table, they're speaking for those developments, and they have a piece of that pie, they have a stake in it. I think that's very important for us to ask those specific questions, learn from our mistakes, understand those mistakes and how we move forward, and think about the progress of the city in a more responsible way. And that's where we're at right now with that, yeah.
Absolutely, and when you said that, I'm thinking, as we preparing them, I'm also hearing without displacing them.
Exactly.
And
I think
that an easy thing to do?
It is nothing is an easy thing to do, but it's a feasible thing to do, and I think that it starts now. As we talk about the different RFPs and the different solicitations that are out there, I think it's ripe for that kind of conversation to happen. How do we have our residents that have been here for so long, how do we make sure that they understand what those developments, how they impact them in a positive and in a negative light? How do they understand what those developments and what those developments will bring to the table in terms of economic development, jobs, and opportunities? These developments that are being built, it's not for anyone else but people in Riviera Beach, and that's it. It's ripe for development and it's time. But how do we make sure we own those projects? And that's something that the manager, our CRA staff, along with the mayor and along with the other board of commissioners, we talk about that on a daily basis. And that's my goal, and that's really my mantra being here, is to make sure that we're ready for when that train comes, that development train comes, we're not only on board, but we're collecting the tickets too.
All right, you
So
heard
Dwayne,
that.
I'm gonna just mix it up just a
Yes,
little
absolutely.
bit, really quick, in the interest of time. So I'm gonna go to John Hope Bryan and ask a important question before he has to leave. Operation Hope has empowered millions through financial literacy and entrepreneurship. With the development that's happening in Riviera Beach, particularly, and the demographic that will eventually change because of that development, how do you think that will impact our leadership and our elections? And more importantly, how do we continue to engage voters?
So, first of all, this has been a very, very inspiring day.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be here. Whenever I show up somewhere, it costs me about $370,000 because that's how much I have to raise every day. And so I'm always looking at, is this a good investment of my time? And no matter what somebody pays me, I'm losing money. So all I've got is my time. You can take my money, you can't waste my time. And this has been a wonderful investment of time. I mean, I've grown as a person by being here. I've been inspired by who I've met, what I've seen, your potential. So we need to clear a couple things up. Like, people are afraid of gentrification, which is they think is a code word for, to be very blunt, white people coming in and taking your stuff. That's just not true. I love the dictionary. We should use it. Loosen up, folks. It's okay. Like,
As
if
an
you don't learn to
educator, I
laugh
agree.
at yourself, you will go crazy. Everything's funny to me. Gentrification is nothing more than a movement to middle class values. That's the dictionary definition of gentrification. You want that. When I was growing up, I worked at a convenience store. Worked at a liquor store selling candy, then a convenience store. Then I worked at McDonald's and AM/PM Mini Market, and I kept going up. I mean, I wasn't meant to work at AM/PM Mini Market my whole life. Right? It was a stepping stone. It was a job, and it was meant to upgrade myself and go to the next thing. You want high school education to migrate to college education. You want those who have college educations to make different decisions, better decisions, from renting to home ownership. You want your children to do better than, the parents should want their children to do better than them. Can I get an amen? We should not be stuck in the past. We should be embracing the future. And if we can't manufacture black people who have higher education, who have proper credit scores, and ambition to buy the house, you should welcome the white person who comes over to do it, because that's going to increase your quality of life. It doesn't matter what color you are, the color is green. So I would prefer if this was a majority black community for the next 20 or 30 years. What I'd like is for it to be a community in 20 or 30 years, and not owned by some corporation or owned by some holding company. I mean, the Irvine Company in Southern California owned all of Orange County effectively. They master planned it and subcontracted out to all their friends. And to this day, the Irvine Company is essentially the sharecropper. You guys have a chance here, an opportunity to master plan a community. You can't give it to people. They've got to meet you halfway. Last thing I'll say. I'm just trying to chop a lot of wood at the same time. People are like, oh, John, you're talking about all this financial literacy stuff. Just give me the money. Okay. If I take my wealth and all my friends' wealth and give it all to everybody else, poor people, struggling people, in 3 years, we'll all have it back.
Can you say it again?
Even if you want to distribute money like a socialist, you first have to collect it like a capitalist. You want a government grant. Where's the government get their money from? Me. Taxpayers. Like 88% of all jobs come from the private sector. The government gets its money literally from taxpayers. So broke in, broke out. And so somebody said repeat what I said, I'll repeat it again. If I took, again, I'm just trying to go to the end here. John, all this financial literacy stuff, all this capitalism, okay, just give me the money. Okay, I said, take all the wealth in the world, distribute it to everybody else in the world. And what I said was, if that's all that happens, in 3 years, we'll all have it back. But I said we. I didn't say white people, because at this point, I'm green. All the poor people who have resources will have the money back because we understand the system and you don't. If I give a homeless guy, this is one of these videos I did that went absolutely viral. To me, it's just common sense. I was homeless, so I think I can talk about this. We didn't talk about this, but I was homeless for 6 months of my life when I was 18. I lived in my car. And I moved it around because the leasing company was looking for the car.
No Apple tags at that time.
Hey. And when I went to sleep at night, I put the car cover from the inside out over the license plate on the back and closed the door from the inside. So you couldn't catch me when I was asleep. It's a true story. If I give a homeless man $1 million, and that's all I do, he'll be broke in 6 months. 70% of everybody who wins the lottery is effectively bankrupt in 5 years. 70% of NFL players, 70% of NBA players, bankrupt 5 years after retirement. And 5 years after that, divorced. So it's not about the flow of money. It's not about the money, the cash, the bag. Girlfriend over here, we're in the car. Girlfriend's gangster. We're in the car, and I'm like, tell me, how did you know, she's known me for a long time. She known me when I was a pup. And tell me, like, how'd you build these buildings, and how big is your company? She said this. I went on a cruise for 6 months. She ran it from whatever cruise suite she had. I'm like, well, that's amazing. How are you doing all that? We got a management team, whatever. She had an investment club that she started. She said she made more money and built more wealth from the investment club than she did from her business. And so I said to her, so what you're telling me is that money makes more money on money than money can ever make on labor. She says, of course, yes. Of course, I know that. What did I tell you earlier? You make money during the day, you build wealth in your sleep. So I'm just trying to get us out of this fantastical world that somehow capitalism is evil. No, money's not evil. It's the love of money that's evil. Church can't survive without tithes and donations. The Bible mentions the money more than it mentions anything else. 2,000 plus entries. We just need to knock it off. So don't be afraid of growth. Don't be afraid of white people or Asian people or Latino people or Jewish people. By the way, we had a conversation about Jews earlier. Look, all of my corporate partners for my nonprofit, they're all basically mainstream corporations, called Caucasian. Oddly enough, all of my private investors on my business, not by design, they're all Jewish. I didn't design it that way. There's an affinity. There's something that they get, that there's some kind, because they were enslaved, they're still being chased all around the world. There's a texture that they get. They relate to us. And when I say they invested money, I'm talking about $100 million. I'm talking real money. I paid them back. But it was good terms. We have a proper business deal. But we should not be afraid of other people. We should embrace other people. I'd rather you have 10% of something than 100% of nothing. You hear that? I'd rather you have 10% of something than 100% of nothing. Stop holding on to nothing.
All right. State Senator Mack. In light of the federal changes in legislation, what legislative priorities at the state level could most effectively expand access to capital, contracts, and credit for minority-owned businesses?
Thank you very much for inviting me. Right now, in the state of Florida, with the current state of the governor, I would say that it is very hard for contracting opportunities at the state level, which means that the work that's done at the municipal level the county level will be enhanced more because there'll be more opportunities. But as you know, in Tallahassee, people continue to give contracting opportunities to their friends that they want to give opportunities to. But for me, as a state senator, what I've tried to do is to bring resources back to Palm Beach County, because Palm Beach County is a donor county where we send more money to Tallahassee than it comes back to Palm Beach County. So like during this legislative session, we brought $15 million to Palm Beach County. And what we want to do is, of course, with Riviera Beach on the water treatment plant, we want to make sure that we ask for as much money as possible, so in that way, the water treatment is addressed for the citizens of Riviera Beach. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Again, in the interest of time, because Mr. Bryant needs to leave, I know that we didn't get an opportunity to do a Q&A with him before he left for the audience, and there are a couple people who have some questions. So I'm going to take 2 questions very quickly before he leaves, and then we're going to get back to the panel. Mr. Ramsey, I know had a question.
Should it
Can
come
you
to the
stand
mic?
up? Yeah.
Mr. Bryant, what is the one business that drives other businesses to the area? Like how you talked about a Whole Foods coming. What should the city, because you got a city manager, you got all the people up here that need to know this. What is the one business that needs to be there first? Is it the healthcare? Is it the schools? What is the first thing that brings the Whole Foods later? Because the Whole Foods come after you did something. But I think we need to know what is the first thing we need to focus on.
I'm not answering your question until you give me that hat. Yeah, y'all got shaft right up in the situation.
But let me help you answer this question.
I don't need
too, 'cause
help.
I know, but I'm gonna add.
No. He asked me the question. I'm gonna answer it.
I would like to.
And then you're gonna do. This is your counter. You get to talk to them all year round. But I guarantee you're not gonna give the answer I'm giving.
No, I'm not.
You ready? It's you. Let me tell you something. A developer and an investor is scanning the demographic profile, scraping data on the population. What are the averages? What's the average credit score? What's the income level? What's the home ownership level? What's the percentage of local small business owners? What's the demographics? What is the race and gender balance? But the number one thing they're looking at when they decide to invest is that average credit score. That's why, and as I said earlier, when you have a 500, sub 600 credit score neighborhood, miraculously, somehow, all across this country, in every neighborhood, I do this in every neighborhood, I've never been wrong. Check casher, payday loan lender, rent-to-own store, title lender, liquor store, pawn shop, fast food restaurant, church. It's target marketing. The church is there is the only positive salvation, right? Everybody else is target marketing folks with low financial literacy, higher levels of depression, surviving mindset, not gonna ask hard questions, trying to get a quick fix, empty calories. That's all fast food restaurants are, empty calories. It's not real food half the time. The minute you go to a 700 credit score neighborhood, people start asking real questions. They want a better diet. The whole is family friendly. It's a whole, they want sit-down restaurants. They demand a bank. Whole Foods has a market. The hotels have a market. It attracts. You don't need to go looking for the investor. They find you. You get Riviera Beach to 700 plus credit score on average. The vibration is 700 credit score. Upward mobility on indexes, on home ownership, small business. You will be overrun by investor interest. Now your answer.
So I would also add it's so important for the education of the kids in Rivera Beach. Because even if you get the 700, the credit score, but to get there, you have to increase the education of the kids in Rivera Beach at the elementary school, middle school, and high school, which is important.
Yeah. But kids don't buy groceries at Whole Foods. So he's right. But an investor's not waiting 10 years. They do. He's right. People, by the way, middle class families go to where the good schools are. So he's right. But I'm trying to get you focused on something you can change that affects your life and everybody else's. We keep subcontracting this problem. If the answer gets too complicated, then we give it to a committee. You know what a committee is? A camel's a horse designed by committee. You need to get on your horse and ride that to your finish line. And I just gave you something you can ride. Everybody in here can change your credit score. Everybody in here can change what I talked about. What he's talking about requires a whole collection of civic engagement, municipalities, board. This is really important. But we've had failing schools for a very long time. So let's do this, but I want you to do what I said, and then give me that hat.
All right. We have a question for Brother Jeff Sherrills, but before he asks, someone asked me, if you're single in the room, should the first question you be to ask the other person if they're interested in you, what's your credit score? That's just a joke. All right, brother.
All right. I've followed Dave Ramsey since 1999, and I'm currently a financial coach, master trainer, and a Ramsey preferred coach. Can you talk a little bit, Brother Brian, about what a HOPE client and HOPE volunteer is and how we can get involved? Because we're talking about training and literacy and helping individuals understand. Can you talk about the HOPE client and the HOPE volunteer?
So I won't talk much about this because I made a commitment, and others matched the commitment to bring it HOPE, since I've been here today, to bring a HOPE Inside office to Riviera Beach. So that's going to happen. PhDs are good, PhDs are better. So I like doing stuff. So we're going to bring an office here, and it'll be a partnership office, and we're going to get a bank involved, and so we'll work on all that. I'm in 800 Truist branches, and I know Truist is one of your big partners. And TD just approached me about doing a partnership. We'll get one of these banks to open up their offices to do a HOPE Inside, and we'll do it at Doctor Center. Now, what we're doing is, if you know somebody who makes $48,000 a year, okay, credits toe up from the flow up. They go into the bank branch, the banker looks at the credit report and goes, what would you, they start stuttering. What that means is, I'm afraid to tell you the truth. Because if they tell you the truth, they're gonna get sued for discrimination. They have to take your application. And you can say, the bank, are trying to discourage me. So they take your application, knowing full well that in 45 days you're going to get a decline note. With HOPE inside of the bank branch, we're the only nonprofit allowed inside of a bank branch in U.S. history. The bank branch officer now says, look, can you go talk to the people right down the hall? They come to us. Our people look at the credit report and goes, whoa, that looks like a bus accident. And you laugh because you know it's true. You know you haven't checked it or you know what's on it. So we go, Mrs. Jones, what's this? Oh, I got divorced 10 years ago, and we didn't pay the phone bill, and I don't know, I don't have $1,000. I didn't ask you that. Is this yours? Yes. Okay. SBC, you live in Oakland. SBC Communications sold that to Pac Bell. Pac Bell sold that credit to AT&T. AT&T chased you for 2 years, and then they couldn't find you, so they sold that debt to Joe's Finance Company. I know because it's in the margins. I know they bought it for 5 cents on the dollar, which means they bought it for $50. Let's call Joe's Finance Company. So we call them, Joe's Finance Company. I got Mrs. Jones here. We're looking for her. She's looking for you. We want to settle her debt. What do you want? We want $100, not 1,000. They want 100% on what they bought it for. They bought it for $50 because AT&T wrote it off. So we say, we're going to pay you $200. Well, why would you pay me $200? Because I want your cooperation. I need you, by the way, I'm going to commend you to your supervisor. I need to speak to your supervisor and let him know what a wonderful person you've been. And I want a letter on your letterhead from your supervisor telling me that if this appears back on Mrs. Jones's credit report, because it will, it's been there for 10 years, that you're going to remove it over and over and over again. So I'm going to give you $200 for your $100 debt, which means you make an immense profit. By the way, he got a 100, 200% profit. Mrs. Jones got an 80% discount. She owed 1,000, she paid 200. The minute we do that, her credit score goes up 30 points. So now she's gone from 580 to 610. What happens to Mrs. Jones' self-esteem? All of a sudden now her back comes back, her shoulders are back. She's like, okay, what else we got? I say, well, okay, well, what's that? Oh, well, I mean, that I don't know what that is. Okay, that's called an error. 80% of you, if you have not checked your credit, is an 80% chance or better that what's on there is wrong. So the law states, if the 3 credit bureaus cannot confirm, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax, cannot confirm that it's yours, they must remove it within 30 days. We write a letter to the credit bureaus. Mrs. Jones says it's not hers. Prove it. 90% of the time, they write back and go, we can't prove it, because they're just databases. We can't prove it. We removed it. That's another 20, 30 point pop in your credit score. So now you're at, help me out here, you're at 640, right? Well, now your self-esteem, your comp, now you're like, oh, we got this. So I say, okay, you make $48,000 a year. You got 3 children. Have you ever heard of the Earned Income Tax Credit? What's that? Congratulations. If you don't know what EITC is, you're approved. If you make less than $65,000 a year and you have children, the government owes you you make $65,000 a year, period, the government owes you a check. The sweet spot is if you make $38,000 a year, you got 3 kids, they owe you $7,500 cash. It's a bonus for working. If you never filed, it's retroactive for 3 years. Watch everybody start running toward the exit, their tax bill. So in this example, she makes $48,000. She got $5,000 coming to her times 3 years. That's $15,000. Her goal is to buy a house, by the way. So now here's your down payment. Now, this is the only time it helps you being black. Mrs. Jones is at a bank, an FDIC insured bank. The bank wants minorities on their books. It helps them with their Community Reinvestment Act credit. So we're getting her credit score up. I said, look, we need down payment assistance. Here's a $10,000 grant for down payment assistance from the bank. You don't even pay it back. You only get that if you're black and low income. But they got to think that they can give you a good loan. We're getting your credit score up for 54 points in 6 months, 100 points in 12 months. Your debt down $3,800. Your savings up $1,200 to get the bank out of the no business and back into the yes business. When we finish with you, we move you back over to the bank branch, to the manager, and now the banker can say yes at prime rates.
And so since you raised that credit score by 100, you also extended their life by 10 years.
And there you go. For every 50-point increase in your credit score, you extend your life by 5 years.
So,
yes.
Unfortunately, Mr. Bryant has to leave, but I want you to do me a big favor. I saw him about 3 months ago in New Orleans at a minority airport conference, and I paid several $1,000s. So if you paid $55 or you got it here for free, I need you to stand up on your feet. Give him a hand. Give him a hand.
Let me tell you what, there's one person that's pleased that I'm leaving. My co-anchor here, he said, this man, all he does is run his mouth. So he gets now to intelligently, thoughtfully unpack. No, he's very gracious. I love you all. I believe in you. Let's go change the world.
Thank you, brother. Which, as we continue, thank you very much, John Hope Bryant. We appreciate the knowledge and the wisdom that you have imparted to us today. We're going to continue with our panel. To the distinguished gentleman, Hannibal B. Johnson. My question to you, sir, is you've chronicled the story of Tulsa's Black Wall Street, a powerful lesson in both truth, triumph, and tragedy. What parallels do you see between that legacy and what we're attempting to build here in South Florida and Riviera Beach?
In a word, opportunity. I mean, the time is always right if we're prepared to take advantage of the opportunity that exists. And so with what I call the Black Wall Street mindset, the right psychology, the right can-do spirit, and with access to technology that exists now, we can be successful economically. We can be successful entrepreneurs and champions of commerce. It's a matter of recognizing and seizing the moment.
Got it. Thank you. Brother Shedd said earlier that he visited Tulsa, Oklahoma, and was so very impressed with how they rebuilt. The second question is, how did they rebuild when it was a part of the city, part of the government who actually participated in its destruction? How were they able to rebuild?
Yeah, one of the little-known parts of the history surrounding the massacre is that the community was rebuilt beginning almost immediately after it was destroyed by local authorities in part.
Correct.
So that happened in 1921. By 1922, key elements of the Main Street Greenwood were in the process of being rebuilt. And as I mentioned earlier, in 1925, the community hosted the National Conference of the National Negro Business League, which is Booker T. Washington's Black Chamber of Commerce. They held their meeting in Tulsa in 1925 in part to show solidarity with the people of Tulsa, because what happened in Tulsa could have and did, in fact, happen all across the United States. Correct. So there really was nowhere to run for black folks. I mean, you had to sort of understand that you had to figure out a way to survive and thrive in these communities that were hostile to you. And that's exactly what the people of Greenwood did. They rebuilt, and the community peaks in the early to mid-1940s with hundreds of black-owned and operated businesses. There was a second decline in the 60s and 70s on account of integration and urban renewal, and there's another renaissance going on now. It's a new iteration of the community. It's integrated, it's multi-purpose, it's education and culture, residential, religious, entertainment. It's really a mixed-use community. But everybody who is in the community today understands the importance of acknowledging the history, understanding the shoulders upon which we stand today, honoring that, and using it as leverage to make us successful today.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for that very thorough answer. I appreciate that. Miss Ann McNeil, I have a question for you. Are you ready for me? How do we teach the next generation that legacy building is not just for profit, but is also a true measure of success in business as well as community leadership?
Now, I know she did not know I was going to do this, but I want to ask my granddaughter to stand. She has headphones on and she's laughing, and she's paying absolutely no attention to what's going on in the room. So, Raja, could you please stand? Her name is Raja Nia Tate. And then I'm going to ask, could you please stand? And then I'm going to ask Dr. Betty Knighton to please stand. She's at the next table. Now, to answer your question, Dr. Betty Knighton is a publisher. My granddaughter, Rajania Tate, just published her second book. And she just turned 9 years old. Y'all give her a round.
Second book at 9 years old.
Right. Right.
So does that mean if it's anyone in here who's been writing a book for 5 years, she just took all the excuses away?
See Dr. Betty Knighton. See Dr. Betty Knighton. Okay, Raja, you can have a seat. 100 books a year she reads since 4 years old. Her first book at six was Raja Nia the Early Reader. Wow. Her second book she published this year, and it's called My Diary. Now, when she first said this to me, we were sitting at breakfast and on a Sunday after church, and she said, I want to write my second book. I said, okay, what do you want to write about? She said, my biography. I said, I didn't tell her the difference. I said, look it up. You sure it's biography? She said, yes. I said, look it up. She said, oh no, it's autobiography. So I said, if it's an autobiography and you've only been here, at that time she was 8, just turned 9 last month. I said, so what are you going to write about in your diary? And she proceeded to explain to me, A was for this, B was for this, C was for this, D, E, all the way to Z. She made a point, she told a story, she gave an example, every single letter. And in the back, she left blank pages for the children to write their own diary. Now, I'm answering the question, and Betty is smiling, because Betty worked with her and published the book in what, maybe 2 months, Betty? Something like that? 2 months. You're saying something, Raja? Okay. Now, I'm answering your question to say this is our future in our own home. And like the young man here with the hat, when the speaker was saying that you are the answer. We're each the answer to the question in our own home. Now, I could talk about myself, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to talk about my second daughter, who some of you may know in the room, same age, 30 years ago, started investing at age 9. And that's what he was referring, learning how to analyze stocks and how to invest. Volunteers helped us, they didn't look like us, by forming investment clubs for the children and adults. Investing $25 a month, 5, 10, 20, 30 years, who can do the math? 6 figures, maybe 7. And so my point is the education, is the mindset shift. So often we focus on skill set, but we seldom focus on mindset. And so in our home, we start with mindset first. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That is very powerful. Thank you. Ms. Keely Gideon Taylor, what role does mentorship, particularly financial mentorship, play in closing generational wealth gaps within the Black community?
Okay, so I am very grateful to be here representing the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. So I think mentorship, first of all, with regards to finance literacy, having mentors that are able to share and teach financial literacy kind of helps those that are being mentored, and it takes the place of those programs that are not happening within our education systems. And so oftentimes we know that mentors and mentees are matched, and so there's a trust that's built there. So if there is trust built, then there is a greater chance that I'm going to listen, I'm going to understand, and I'm going to work with you. And so when our education systems are not able to share that financial literacy piece, then that's where the mentors come in and takes that place. Also, with regards to generational wealth, as Ms. McNeil explained, teaching our mentees how to have those mindsets and promote that generational wealth, so that we have our children, our youth, have the opportunity, they have the skills, they build the skills in order to learn that. Because again, sometimes that's not often done within our education systems, and so that's where the mentors, and basically it comes back to trust. If I'm trusting you, then I'm going to believe in what you're saying. So mentorship, especially financial mentorship, is very important for our businesses, because again, it's and I keep using this word trust, but you have to have that to be able to work together. So that's how it plays a very important role with our businesses.
And a second question for you. We have numerous entrepreneurs in the room. What benefit and what impact does the Black Chamber of Commerce have on their business? Why should they get involved? Why should they participate?
Okay, that's another great question. Well, the Black Chamber of Commerce exists. We are a membership organization, and so our main goal is to advance the economic success of our members through education, advocacy, information sharing, and education. And so we have many great partners. This event itself is a partnership with the City of Riviera Beach and the Diplomat Center. And so while we are not the direct host of this event, I know that many of our members are here, and so this is an opportunity to learn. By the way, we are Palm Beach County. There are 39 municipalities in Palm Beach County, and so we have great relationships with those municipalities so that we are preparing our members to be able to take advantage of those opportunities when they come. I heard one of my fellow panelists say, being ready. Oh, I think it was the gentleman talking about you. So, you know, when you came to Riviera Beach, you had your documents, you had your certification, you were prepared to do business. So we know that our municipalities have business, and we work very closely with the City of Riviera Beach, Palm Beach County, West Palm Beach, but we want to make sure that when those opportunities present, our businesses are ready to take advantage of those. Money is green. I heard Mr. Bryant say that, so we've got very good relationships with our corporate world. And we are continuing to build. I wouldn't stand here and say that, you know, we are all that and we've got everything going on, but there are unique opportunities, training that we can bring to our members to help them grow the success of their businesses. And that's why we exist, for the benefit of our members.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're going to go over to the attorney, Jolinda Herring. What legal pitfalls most commonly threaten small and minority-owned businesses, and what proactive legal habits can entrepreneurs adopt to protect themselves?
I think the answer to that question is the same. Most people do not like to engage lawyers. I really don't understand why. And sometimes people feel that it's going to cost too much. So they want to Google it, they want to do it on their own. But particularly for businesses, and this is minority or not, you need to engage a lawyer when you set up your business. Make sure it's set up correctly, because there are certain ways that your business is set up that may be more IRS friendly than others. Is it a C corporation? Is it an S corporation? Is it a partnership? Is it an LLC? So those are the types of things that a lawyer will help you with. And a lot of lawyers also have other expertise. They can help you get to the right tax advisors, accountants. So go see a lawyer, so that, you know, $500 or $1,000 that you think is a lot, it will save you in the end. Because if something happens, your business gets sued, and depending on the type of entity it is, you could be sued personally as well. And so you don't want that beautiful car that you worked so hard for to be taken away because you were not formed correctly.
So are you suggesting that the law firm of ChatGPT is not the most appropriate law firm to get your advice for legal counsel?
It is absolutely not. They have found, even in the legal world, where we have some younger people, not at our firm, but other firms that use ChatGPT and other AI, they tend to make up case law. It's not real. And so, you know, you want to make sure you talk to someone that has experience in that area.
All right, thank you. So we have about 10 strong minutes. So what we want to do, instead of us asking questions, we want to take the questions out to the audience in like a rapid fire style. So if anyone has a question, please stand, and what I'll do is bring the microphone to you, and they will ask our panel members. Was that a hand? I saw her. Oh, no. Okay, right here. Yes, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Dr. Manushka St. Hill. What is your position on tiny homes? So a lot of millennials are not necessarily keen on home ownership because they don't necessarily see themselves staying in one place. But I think there is a movement of consideration for tiny homes and having that flexibility. Does the city see itself establishing an ordinance for certain areas for tiny homes, or your idea of what does tiny homes look like in our future?
So I'll take that question from the city perspective. That was something that a lot of local municipalities talked about, but it never really came to fruition. But I think when it comes to affordable housing, we have to look at every and all options. We have to even look at options that traditionally you see on college campuses, because the cost for affordability, especially in Palm Beach County, has been increasingly challenging and very problematic. So, you know, every option and opportunity. The one challenge you do have is the establishment of, when you look at a tiny home and then the economy is a scale, you can get more densities and intensities by going vertical. If you have a tiny home, you still have to have the sewer connections, all the infrastructure and the like. And so from the city perspective, we're looking at any ways to address affordable housing. But I will tell you, former Commissioner McBernard, state senator, was the champion for affordable housing here in Palm Beach County and helped lead the way with a $200 million bond that actually is available for the creation of affordable housing. So he will be able to talk specifically on his time as a commissioner, but he's part of the reason why you're going to see tens of thousands of doors here in Palm Beach County, because of his leadership and his stick-to-itiveness to make sure housing affordability in Palm Beach County was a priority. Senator?
Yeah, thank you very much, City Manager Jonathan Evans. The concerns with the tiny homes was because of the fact that we dealt with the opioid crisis and so the sober home crisis, and so whatever decisions that we make in regards to tiny homes, we don't want to recreate the sober homes that can potentially pop up in Revere Beach. So we're monitoring these developers who wants to build these tiny homes, because we don't want to have these sober homes that will destroy Revere Beach. But I know that in Revere Beach recently, the housing bond, they were awarded dollars, I think close to $6 million to do a project in Revere Beach. So the city and the county, they're continuing to create different ways to create new housing. They're doing ADUs, you know, and also in Tallahassee, there's a discussion in regards to property taxes. You know, the governor was in town on Wednesday advocating to, his message is to eliminate property taxes, but we as a state and the residents of this state of Florida will decide in the next election what's going to be that potential reduction in property taxes to make homes more affordable for the residents. Thanks.
Hello. Okay, this message is good. I'm sorry. This question is for Ms. Ann McNeil. One of the challenges that I encounter when I'm helping developers and so forth get ready for this boom in development is the lack of being able to afford the insurance requirements and the bonding requirements. And that's something that's been stated over and over, but I have yet to hear a major solution as to how to address that issue. So what do you see that we can do, someone like me who's a small business advisor, to assist those folks that cannot meet those requirements?
First, let me recommit to you that I'm willing to volunteer to help you. Talk about that offline. But publicly, to answer your question, we have relationships with bonding companies that look like us that can help with that, in addition to insurance companies who are willing to work with our community. And so he didn't know I was going to do this, but Mr. Israel Aman, right behind you, is an excellent example of a person who would have been a client of yours, but we were able to utilize his contract that we got for him on Fire Station 88 to have access, first of all, to the relationship, and it was said here earlier, but having a relationship with the bonding company and insurance companies before you need them. Can I say that again? Relationships, build them before you need them. So character is a part of bonding. You know, we talk about competency and a lot of these different things, but building the relationships, so I would like to encourage you, begin bringing these companies into your space and have them begin to talk and build relationships with your members and your clients before it's time for them to have a need for those services. Thank you.
And Ms. McNeil, I like to pigtail off of that, and it's a great question, Shed. The CRA in the city, we have programs available through our procurement department, through our CRA department, where we have workshops. We create a platform for that prospective business owner or that developer to take advantage of specific resources that we as a CRA in the city have. Our procurement department does a marvelous job with getting the word out, helping those prospective developers understand what they need to get qualified, what they need to pass through a specific solicitation. So I welcome, of course, those, as always, you know that, Shed, and that's anybody in this room, those developers, those business owners that are looking for specific opportunities, specific resources. We're always looking to see how we can take advantage of that talent through our programs and through the city programs as well. Thank you, Shed, for that question.
And if I may, I just wanted to jump on that as well. The two young ladies that are sitting at this table here, I'm going to give everyone in this room a cheat code. That is my procurement director, Director Ammons, and that is my assistant to the city manager, Dr. Hayes. Director Ammons, we have a meeting every 2 weeks on public solicitations. How many public solicitations do you have on that spreadsheet right now?
Open right now is approximately 35, and open is defined by not awarded yet.
Okay, and how many do you have in the queue to go out?
Another 30 to go out.
So I say that to say this. The city is constantly looking for opportunities to do business. We put it on our website. We televise exactly what we're looking for. That is a person that you need to have a conversation with and sign up to be a vendor and get information concerning our public solicitations. Because as I mentioned, we are a $240+ million municipal corporation. It's intended that we are going to put $200+ million into the local economy. If it's dry cleaning services for law enforcement, if it is shoes for our utility workers, we buy a multitude of different things. And a lot of times you would be surprised, 0 bids. Or they don't have the insurance, and one person has the appropriate insurance, and they get the bid. The other person is Dr. Hayes. Dr. Hayes runs our community grant programs. Dr. Hayes, we put out community grants in the city of Riviera Beach. How much did we award in the last probably month in community grants?
In the last month, $50,000.
$50,000. Did everyone that submitted a grant, did they receive a grant for $5,000?
Yes, they did.
They did. How tough was that process?
Not tough at all.
Okay. Didn't we have people that asked for grants that if they may have asked for $2,500, what did their grant award from the city be?
$5,000.
We're about to do grants in about another 3 weeks. I would encourage you to look at our website. If you have a bona fide non-for-profit that provides service in the city of Riviera Beach or to the city of Riviera Beach, or you're a resident in the city of Riviera Beach, you can qualify for that grant program. So there's opportunities that are at your fingertips that you may not know. So please, if you are a small business, if you're a t-shirt company, if you're a company that sells juices, if you're a chiropractor, when we talk about wellness, the city of Riviera Beach paid $25,000 to a gym 2 years ago because we wanted to address some of the comorbidities in our community, and we wanted to encourage our employees to go and get fit. So there are services that we buy all the time, but people don't participate or they don't know. So please, before you leave here today, if there's 2 people that you leave with a card with, it's Director Ammons and Dr. Hayes concerning opportunities to work with the city.
That's amazing information. We have 2 final questions before we turn it over to close. Yes, sir. His foot is a little jacked up, so he doesn't have, okay.
That's how I get extra attention. Shed taught me that. Hi, this question is for Mrs. Gideon. My name is Michael Coppi. I'm the CEO of Go Green Dry Cleaners. And my question is, are there any restrictions with your chamber on who can become a member? Do they have to be, can they be a sole proprietor, for example? Do they have to be African American? Does it have to be, are there any certain types of companies that are excluded? And do you have to own and reside in the county of Palm Beach, or can you be from Miami-Dade and still join the chamber?
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that question. So, as you heard earlier, money is green. So, you do not have to be Black or African American to join the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. What you do have to be is interested and have a vision to support and grow Black and minority-owned businesses. And we have many, and in fact, our corporations, the money is green, their staffs are diverse, and they are members of the Black Chamber of Commerce of Palm Beach County. Excuse me. Our target area is Palm Beach County, but I'd love to talk to you offline. We do have members that are not in the city, not in the county, that are members, but again, that is our target areas. I might add that we work very closely with our neighbors in Broward and Miami-Dade, and we are, excuse me, one of 17 chambers that are members of the Florida Association of Black Journalists. So there are lots of collaborations and advocacy going on. But I'd like to talk to you later. Are your business in Miami-Dade?
A few different companies that stretch from Miami up to Okeechobee County and out west to Glades and everywhere in between. So I would love to have a conversation with you as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final question, yes, ma'am. Hello. You have to stand, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I thought I was tall enough. Hi, my name is Marissa Davis. I know that affordable housing is a hot ticket item right now. I'm a direct recipient of affordable housing and the workforce housing program that was kind of spearheaded with Mac Bernard, and at that time you were with the county. I guess it's more of a statement. In this statement, it's like you guys put up affordable housing, and it's a great thing until it's not. So we have these property management groups who are not certified or have a CAM license to manage these properties, and then they become basically projects, and then we're right back at step one. Something that was supposed to be great turns into something that is just an eyesore for the community. So I want us to be very conscious and cautious, and when we're doing these projects, and knowing that you are doing a great thing for the community and trying to have affordable housing, but also understanding that if you do not have a great property manager or property management group to keep that level of, that high level of interest, it then becomes just almost like a project in that community, and then it becomes an eyesore, and it's not helpful.
Yeah, I agree with you. We've had to apologize to many of the residents where, we've spent so much time to create the housing, but then, sometimes we didn't think about, what happens 5 years, 10 years down the road. And so that's something that we've tried to adjust at the county level, because we know that even in West Palm Beach, we created affordable housing right on Broadway. And you've had so many of the people who are homeless who have really made people's life really miserable. And so those are the things that we're constantly trying to improve, but it's a work in progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, before I turn it over to you, can we give our distinguished panel a round of applause and great appreciation for all of this information? Thank you. Thank you.
So a quick question before we dismiss and before we let you all go. It's just a pleasure to have all of you in the same place at the same time and have you held where you can't go anywhere until we finish, right? So just a very quick question in closing. So looking 10 years ahead, what would true success look like for Black Wall Street South? What does that really look like? And what must each of us commit to doing right now to make that vision a reality? Who wants to take that? Hannibal?
I can take it real quick, and I'll pass it to Ann. Right now, with artificial intelligence, you know, a couple weeks ago, ServiceNow announced that they're coming to West Palm Beach. It's supposed to create 1,000 jobs, and it's supposed to multiply to about 10 times, where there potentially will be 10,000 jobs in terms of AI in Palm Beach County. So as we're thinking through Black Wall Street of the South, I think that we've got to really look at how we can incorporate AI in terms of some of these potential opportunities. Thanks.
Thank you, Matt.
Professionally, I do a lot of work on mindset. And if some of you have ever followed me or seen me on any kind of social media, you know I'm always talking about mastermind groups and Think and Grow Rich and a lot of these subjects, investing, construction. I'm going to do a public plug and ask you to text the number 59925.
Say that again.
Text the number 59925.
59925.
And in the chat, just put the word "and." I am committed to start 100 free family and friends mastermind groups between now and the end of the month. And as a part of that, we also teach you how to start and run a successful investment club. I can only teach and share what I've done and what I'm doing. What I've done and what I'm doing. And at 9 p.m. December 31st, 1979, when I picked up a copy of the book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, I built 5 businesses from one page of that book. And I'm born and raised right here in the city of Riviera Beach. So all I can do and all I have is to serve. And so by doing that, I'm willing to help anybody who's willing to make a difference. So 10 years from now, we will not be having some of the same conversations. 59925. Text that number, just put "and" in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else want to tackle that question real quick?
I will speak. I think what success would look like for us as a community in 10 years from now is that we're not worried about what's happening at the government level. And that can only happen when you have enough assets and resources that it really doesn't matter because it doesn't affect you. So that's what I would see as success. But I also want to close on this note because I too was born and raised here in Riviera Beach, continue to own property here, continue to serve the city, and also continue to be very involved here. It is imperative that we continue to make our community better. It's imperative that we understand for our community, college is still what we need to do. We are not at the point. I see that people are out there saying, oh, you don't need to go to college. We got AI. You got all of these things you can do on social media, become an influencer. But you need to have that formal education to be able to understand how do you manage that money when you get it? How do you go in the courtroom and talk about it? How do you go in a corporate setting and talk about it? Those are things that formal education will get you. We have not advanced to the point that we don't need university. And I'm kind of giving that plug because I sit on the board of trustees at Fisk University, a former board chair at Florida Memorial University in Miami. I see young people all the time, and education is still important. People still want to know, where did you get your degree? I've been practicing 30 years, and there will be someone who will ask me, where did you get that degree? So I just want to put that out there for everybody.
And you really want to be able to say that you got your degree from the great Florida A&M University. And on that note,
I got my degree from Florida State University.
That note,
And I got my law degree from UF Law.
and but he can play spades because he learned from someone from Florida A&M University. Right, Matt? Right, State Senator? You play spades because you learned from a rattler. Okay.
Trinette,
Really?
yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Can I pipe in? So what I would tell our members, we heard the words up here, engagement, participation. So what I would tell our members is to be engaged, to participate, to be ready. You heard the city manager mention there were grant opportunities. There's money to be given. There's business to be done within all of our municipalities. I would also tell them to be ready. When those opportunities present, you want to be ready. And then for our consumers, you know, I would tell them we want to patronize those businesses. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemies by not patronizing. You know, I'm glad to see so many of our members here, you know, as vendors, doing music and food. And so that's what I would tell our members, you know, be engaged, be ready, participate, and patronize each other.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. Anyone else?
Can I add?
Please.
May I add, please?
Please.
Thank you. Through our city manager, he's built, through our city staff, a wonderful document called the Reimagine Memo. And in that Reimagine Memo, you see a template of what things and items will look like infrastructure-wise, the layout of a foundation for the next 10 years of this city. And what I imagine for this city, as I'm overlooking the bridge, or as I go through that bridge, leaving West Palm Beach and coming into the marina, you'll see FPL there. You'll see the Port of Palm Beach. You see our beautiful marina, fully developed. You see businesses right across the street. You see commerce. You see specific things happening, and you see the people that are moving, and those people are moving to places that they got to go. Not standing stagnant, but somewhere to go, places to be. I think through the commitment that the manager has made, through the commitment that our CRA has made, that it's so important that we follow that document for T to T. We meet on a weekly basis about that Reimagine document. And I think that if you all have an opportunity to take a look at that Reimagine document, understand what that Reimagine document means, cite it, come to a city meeting, or grab our manager Evans by the hand, sometimes me as well, as I go from place to place, and we talk about that document and how we can make that document better, because I really think it's a pivotal piece as how we move forward into the city.
Thank you.
If
Thank you for that.
if I may,
Absolutely.
yeah. If I may, and the question that was posed is what do we see, you know, Riviera Beach in 10 years? Riviera Beach in 10 years, hopefully, is a situation where people that are in this room today are sitting on this panel tomorrow, and that everyone that doesn't own a home in Riviera Beach, that lives in Riviera Beach today, owns a home tomorrow. And those of you that have frolicked outside of Riviera Beach, and we've allowed for you to continue to come over here and enjoy everything we have to offer, understand that it's time to move your business, your practice, and your home to Riviera Beach. And the last thing is that we recognize that a C school or a D school is no longer permissible in Riviera Beach. And that finally, we have a situation where our kids are not bused to 5 different schools at 5 o'clock in the morning in Riviera Beach. So a better Riviera Beach is an inclusive Riviera Beach, is a dynamic Riviera Beach, and a Riviera Beach that works for everyone. And what I would honestly want to see, I want to see where somebody starts a family in Riviera Beach, and when those kids are off, they live on North Ocean looking at the Atlantic Ocean for the rest of their days in Riviera Beach. That's my Riviera Beach.
That's amazing. Well, first of all, let me just say, growing up on Blue Heron and O Avenue in the apartments right at O and Blue Heron, I never thought that I would be standing here today doing all the things that I have been blessed to be able to do. But I also do reimagine Blue Heron looking different because it looks the same. It looks the same. And so I'm excited about reimagining Riviera Beach. And with that being said, again, thank you, panel. I'm going to pass it over to our mayor so that he can give some last words for the panel, and then we're going to have our fearless leader, Dr. Collymore, close us out.
These last words are, I need everybody to give a round of applause for this panel. we let see that we brought leaders together. And as my manager, my director, and some of the leaders said, Riviera Beach is open for business. We're ready to partner, we're ready to grow, and we're ready to elevate. So I want every single one of you to invest into Riviera Beach. When I got elected in 2019, I told every person I could, buy something on Broadway, buy in Riviera Beach. Make sure you invest in Riviera Beach because it's about to change, it's transforming. And now we're standing on that transformation. Everyone that came and took time to be part of this movement is in the midst of that transformation. So we've talked about Black Wall Street, but that's just the coin catchphrase that we're trying to create. We're creating a movement in Riviera Beach, and you all need to participate in it. You need to be at the base of this development movement and process, because this is my staff that we have that represents the city. And if your staff is telling you that we're going to continue to grow, keep you involved, keep you engaged, that's what we need in place. The community's begged for it, the leadership's begged for it, but now the administration is also demanding it. So we have the decision makers, we have the elected officials, and we have the residents. We're all aligned. That's how you create a strong ecosystem. Because if my state senator, my county commissioner, my congresswoman, my development team, the Black Chamber of Commerce, amazing leaders from across this country are here speaking in Riviera Beach, be a part of that movement and do not miss the opportunity that's here. So we're excited and thankful that you came to Riviera Beach to fellowship, to enjoy this great food, to hear a good word. But we're open for business and be a part of it because we are planning on leaving people behind on this train. So get on now. So everybody, I want you also to welcome up. We also want to welcome up Pastor Collymore, our fearless leader. Please give her a round of applause. This vision was crafted and created from sitting down prior to her opening the Diplomat Center to say that she was going to elevate, mobilize this community in a fashion from the clergy, from the staff leadership, and just from being a praying woman of God. She was committed to that. And when myself and Leanne sat and prophesied with her and said, Pastor Collymore, you are coming to Riviera Beach to transform this community, she ain't believe it, but she received it. And once she received it, she ran with it. Because she believed in what this community had for her, and even with this conference, she didn't know if she'd be able to pull this off, but look at this. Look at God. So I'm thankful to have this woman of God in this community, because we're not going to be able to fail when we have this team together, when we have this panel together, when we have these speakers together, and when we have these praying hands together. We talked about our elders earlier. Those are the ones that laid the way and the foundation for us. But the ones that's here, faith without works is dead. So put that work in. Let's not play with it. Let's not miss this opportunity to really transcend what Riviera Beach has been since I grew up as a little kid. That narrative is done. We're creating an image and a future that Black Wall Street is going to be able to stand on. So in 10 years, this is what greatness. And we're going to look back at this time and be like, I was a part of that movement. I was there. We want to talk about our conference. We have a procurement conference. My procurement director is hosting an amazing conference. That's part of the movement. We're going to talk about how do you participate in this community, benefiting from the $220 million that we spend annually. Half of that goes to certain salaries, budget, and expenses. So you're spending over close to 120, 130 between our CRA, utility district, on commodities and services. We want that to circulate in Riviera Beach with Riviera Beach businesses. So that conference is going to talk about how do we benefit from that. And that's going to be October 30th and 31st. And we have great speakers that's going to be participating in that. Franklin Lee, who wrote the disparity study for the county, for the school board, and for West Palm Beach. He's going to be our keynote speaker. I believe Ms. Ann will be back as well, speaking with us. Thank you, Ms. Ann, hopefully. I just volunteered her again. And then we'll have amazing leaders and business owners, of course, our city manager and our staff. But be a part of the movement. Be a part of the blessings, the opportunity, because we're trying to just give this money away, and we want to give it to people from Riviera Beach.
Could you all kindly give our panel a hand one more time, please? And I want to thank you all personally for taking out your time because I know you're very busy people. Keely, Miss Ann, Mac Bedard, which I called several times to make sure that he was going to be here. He said, I'm going to be there, it's on my schedule. And for Dr. Hannibal, Mr. Mercius, Jolinda, and our fearless city manager, Mr. Jonathan Evans, thank you so much. I do not take this lightly. And like the mayor said, this is a move. It's not just a conference, it's a movement. It was several months ago when, and I promise you I'll take just three minutes, where I know I had a very prominent vision that revival was coming to Riviera Beach. I'm not even asking or questioning it. I know it's happening. And I'm not going to go into what I was told, but I was told that there was restoration economically and in every other area that was coming to the city. And so as I began to move and have these different encounters, like with the mayor and the city manager coming to our facility, the Diplomat Center, I began to realize exactly what my place was. And it's a wonderful thing when you can know what your place was. I was born, like I said, in Tulsa. I was actually born in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, Cherokee, Choctaw town. And we moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma, never knowing that I was right 2 miles away from the Black Wall Street massacre. And ironically, when this thing was birthed in my heart and in my spirit, I said, you know what? Riviera Beach is going to be that place. Riviera Beach is going to change the game. And I am so overwhelmed that what I saw here today is what I saw in the vision. And it was about a month ago, maybe, Miss Ann, when you invited me. Miss Ann, we were talking, and she told me something, but she said Black Caucus and this, and you guys, don't kill me, but I don't know a lot about these organizations. I was never even raised like that. I didn't know. I was not aware of the Black, the Congressional Black Caucus. I honestly didn't. And she said, you mean to tell me you're not going up to the Black Caucus? I was like, what is that? She said, child. And she started talking to me. I got to get you up to the Black Caucus because you can't do this until you go up there and look at that because those people need to be down here. And she was just going on and on. And so we have a monthly Woman in Business that Jade is on and a number of us work on. And last time we had like 90-something women that registered and 70-something that showed up. And so we covenanted it together in that environment, and we said we're going to buy from one another even if it costs us a little more, because we want our dollars to turn, and we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We had one for the men. It was about maybe 40 or so men that was there. I'm talking about CEOs, head of corporations, and they said the same thing. Michael, you were there. They said the same thing. And so I realized, you know what? This is a move. When I went up to Washington, D.C., and I saw a sea of Black businesses from everything. Normally, people think it's just clothes, and we can only do this and that. But to see just a array of everything, it really, I haven't even fully processed the experience yet. I really have not processed it. But when I came back here and Black Wall Street hit my spirit, I said, you know what? Yeah, it's going to happen. And today, I want to thank you all because you made it happen, and we're going to continue to make it happen. Don't play into the thoughts when people say, oh, we just talk and we never do anything. Those days are over because we're doing something right now, and as you see, we're going to complete it, and we're going to do exactly what we need to do. So that's all I have to say, and I thank you all so much. Tomorrow, thank you, yeah, thank you so much. Thank God for Trinette. Y'all give it up for Trinette. Thank God for her. This is our first day. I don't want you to lose steam. I don't want you to give up. Tomorrow we have one more day, and we're going into action steps tomorrow for the city. We're also having a youth summit at the same time at the library down the street. And they're going to be learning not just college prep and those kinds of things. We have HBCUs that are going to be there. They're going to be learning all kinds of things, and they're also going to be learning how to do business pitching. So, and then out of this will come a pitch contest for adults and youth. And we're going to be giving away not only some big dollars, but we're going to be giving away businesses. And they're going to be learning how to run those businesses. What do y'all think about that? Yeah. We even have businesses that want to sew businesses into the winners and teach them how to run it. I mean, you know, it's amazing. So I would like for everyone, if you could, to just text BWSS to that number right there. Please text to that number. And then you're going to see not just the movement going on, but you're going to be getting your correspondence. And we're beginning here, but we're not ending here. And that's all I have to say, Mayor.
So please make sure
tomorrow. Oh,
tomorrow, make sure you guys join us. Tomorrow, we're going to be starting at 8:30 for breakfast. We're going to be at the Diplomat Center tomorrow.
At the Diplomat Center.
Which is at the corner of Blue Heron and 95. If you want to give the address, Pastor.
4119 West Blue Heron Boulevard. It is the old Channel 29 building next to the car wash and across the street from Denny's.
And please get your youth out as well, because we're going to be having the same summit happening at the library. If you know any kids in the community, make sure they're there, make sure they're present, and make sure they're at the library, because we're going to have speakers there. We're going to have panel discussions. That's going to start at 10 a.m. tomorrow at the library, so be there. If you have kids, grandkids, nieces, nephews, make sure they're in the building as well. Drop them off and then head over to the Diplomat Center.
Thank you all so much. You are dismissed. Please make sure you network with each other. Share the business cards. If you don't have a business card, share your Blink card.